And that is Ed Sheeran, Darling, I Will Be Loving You Until You're 70. That was Ed Sheeran thinking out loud. If you haven't heard that song, check it out. I encourage you. It is a great song. Now, who am I? I am Ryan Keys, your host with Spirituality with a Spin. If you have been following me, I would like to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. And thank you for bringing a wonderful spin on what we are giving on YouTube and this podcast. Your involvement is a key cornerstone of this message. My message only sits as an open book does in a library. It's whoever comes by to pick it up and read it that really matters. So when you are coming by, I encourage you to subscribe. I encourage you to become involved. If you have found your twin flame, tell us about it. If you have been on a quest for your twin flame and still have not found them, well, you're at the right place. Maybe you'll meet them here. Maybe whatever we're talking about will inspire you to get out and to expand your philosophies and your beliefs so that you find that person. And if you are hip deep in a depressive cycle because your twin flame has ran, well, maybe we can give you a little humor to help you out. Maybe we can help ease that transition. Maybe we can even help you to find out if that was a faux flame. And if you have found your soulmate or life partner and you are completely content and happy, please tell us on that note as well. Because I am a firm believer that a soulmate is not second best. A soulmate is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful place to be. And some people have thought that the twin flame and the soulmate branding or idea is kind of overlapped, which I who's to say, right? I've been doing some historical research on the idea of twin flames and the idea of one essence being split into two, and there is a lot of historical records that talk about this, even down to the Garden of Eden. There's a lot of mention of it in history, and that's for another show, but I'm leaning down that path. I've been giving love advice and interactive intuitive counseling and I Ching readings since 1990, and I can say honestly that I do believe that there is a twin flame. I believe there's a singularity out there where two souls come together and they manifest as one. Now, whether they stay together on the physical side of this, it's not necessarily the point. The twin flame phenomenon is about seeking, searching, being satisfied, and inner self. It's about getting to a place where you are able to see who you are, and what you want in life, and you're able to start seeing outside of this realm where you live to the deeper, bigger karmic issues that plague this world. It's about God calling you, the Creator, the universe calling you and saying, I need you. I need you. I need for you to change this world, to be the light in the darkness. And that is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about some things about authentic self. We're going to be discussing why seeking approval in any fashion is wrong. And just really diving deeper into this whole twin flame, soulmate relationship. Do you find that you are being a light in the darkness? Do you feel a calling? Do you have a song, as Wayne Dyer would say? What is your song, and are you singing it? For me, this is my song. So I'm singing from the rooftops. If you are involved with this and you don't agree with me, I still ask that you participate in love and understand that we are all growing, we are all giving, we are all trying to just help. So opinions are welcome, but please make your opinion out of love. There's a couple. Now, being a light in the darkness in this twin flame situation. So imagine two souls becoming one has always been something that's been talked about, but now twin flames has caught fire. And it is a little bit of a branding. It is a little bit of a situation in which I believe that we're caught up in the excitement. We're caught up in the ideology that we're going to be with this person. It's going to be a physical romance. It's like getting on a love boat and never getting off. But as we've talked about, it is not necessarily that. It's about getting on a work crew, building houses for people that are in need, doing something fabulous, but putting a lot of hard work in it. And doing a lot of self-actualization, a lot of self-rationalizing, a lot of self-work. So if you were prepared for that, by all means, manifest away. Call out to that twin flame. If you're not quite at that place yet for self-evolution, like I've said, a soulmate is not settling for second best. A soulmate is a great place to be. They can give you all the love you need to live a healthy, wealthy life on this planet. But myself, I'm called to change things. I'm called to reach into the darkness and to let that little flicker of light that I have at the end of my finger burn so that people will see it and that we will all start seeing it together. That's my calling. My calling is to broadcast and to emulsify love everywhere I go so that we are all seeking karmic resolution and that we are all trying to be the best we can and give and receive and love, love, love. A hug can change your life. I'm telling you. You tell me, when you get hugged, don't you feel happy? Now, if a hug can change your life, what can hard work do? What can hard work establishing a happy place for people to live and breathe and be do for you? Mother Teresa didn't have Rolexes. She didn't have fast cars. She didn't have international vacations to Monaco or to Paris. What did she have? Because it sure was much more priceless than gold, wasn't it? She had inner peace. There's a story that was going around where Mother Teresa was being interviewed at a radio station in Arizona, and she was doing a benefit for a domestic violence shelter that was there. And the guy goes, so what can I do? Let me broadcast for you. Let me help raise money for you. What would you like for me to do to help you, to help this situation? And she goes, well, God's taking care of this situation, actually. He's like, but I want to do something. What can I do to help you? Because I feel the need to give. And she goes, oh, well, I appreciate that. But like I said, God has this under control. But if you want to give, here's what I suggest. Find one of the most needy people, maybe a homeless person. Sit down and have a conversation with them and see them as a human being. And that will help. And that's heavy. Heavy. Come on. I've done that. And it is heavy. It makes you think how lucky you are, even when you think you're not lucky right now. So this twin flame phenomenon is going to put you into places where you need to do these things, where you need to give back, where you need to explore self. And I know people might disagree with me, but I do believe that the twin flame relationship is about a higher calling from source. And like I said, how you define your source isn't my call. How I define my source isn't your call. But we're on the same page because we're talking about love. We're talking about making a difference in people's lives. Now, being a light in the darkness is a twin flame. First, we have to cut through all the bullshit. First, we got to get past the bells and the whistles, the frills and the chills, the birthday cakes, and the Disney movie mentality of that we're going to be singing some theme song out of Snow White when this twin flame meeting happens. Because generally, being a light in the darkness requires a lot of effort on your part, because it is a dark world. Now, set aside the Disney vibe for 1 second and understand, when you encounter this twin flame, it's going to be different than that, and I hope you're ready for it. And those of my people that have, attest to it. Leave it down below. Tell them, how different is it? You might run, or you might fight. It could be a situation where you feel angry, where you feel that you've been inconvenienced. It could be a situation where you feel neglected or depressed, or that you feel like, what happened? I just fell in love with this person, and now I'm left with nothing. They ran, and I'm sitting here holding the bag, stressed, anxious, feeling incomplete. Well, the runner, let him run. The chaser, stop chasing. Because what are they running from? They're running from either something you are presenting to them, or they're running from something they're presenting to themselves. Either way, that means inner work. So put your feet to the grindstone and start getting some of that inner work done, right? And just realize it's not an inconvenience. It's just a call to heal those weakened states of consciousness that you've been radiating and vibrating in. Because a person is going to be attracted to you at the worst possible time, probably, that it could be. Either you'll be going through something like a sickness, or it'll be a distance, or there'll be a relationship that they're in, or something will be happening that creates this gap. It might be a huge age difference, but it doesn't really matter because souls don't have age. They might look completely different than you would have been anticipating. Or it could be a social upheaval for your family to have something going on. Anyway, there's going to be confusion that's going to come around with the twin. It's going to be yin and yang. It's going to be a mirror. And then you're going to have to fill in all the gaps, right? You're going to have to build a bridge. You're building a bridge halfway across. They're building a bridge halfway across. You meet in the middle and you find out what's going to happen. And as I've gotten a multitude of questions in the past week, and that's why I'm kind of doing this open forum twin flame phenomenon talk today before I go into the wilderness, there is going to be trigger points along the way of self-development. Because if you brought all your shit to the twin flame, it isn't going to work. So life gives you many soul points of reference, soulmate points. You're going to find a lot of false flames, I believe, personally, beforehand. And those are going to be trigger reasons where you need to start evaluating that. Instead of focusing on the codependency, energy-sucking vampire situation that has happened with their false twin flame, don't focus on that. Accept it, love it, move on, and see why. What did you gather from it? What did you learn from it? Learn to recognize it. Learn to accept it. Learn to see what boxes were opened and check those. How did that line up or not line up? What were the places where you felt you were together, and what were the places where you felt where you were apart? Was there a lack? Was this person married and they were saying, well, I'm unhappily married and I love you and you're my twin flame, and then they were married, but you went on for years and they never left their spouse, even though it was unhappy and it was a situation they were broadcasting to you that they needed to get out of. Wow. How long are you going to endure that? How long are you going to allow that? Because to me, that doesn't resonate truth. So move forward. And if it is your twin flame, it will work out. Have faith that the universe knows more than we do. But it doesn't resonate truth with me. So move forward. See it as a possible faux flame and start to move forward. And many people will say, well, there's no such thing as a faux flame. But I guarantee that you have dated somebody that is going to either be the same sign, same look, same interests, live in the same locations, or want to go to the same places, have relatively the same interests. And it's not going to seem exactly true and right. Karmic twin. Because you're handling karma. As again, I will say, because when you go to the twin flame, it's going to require so much work even still, because there's so much that you're not seeing inside of yourself yet, even with all of this, that you're going to have to face and you're going to have to unfold. And you can't break it all. So when you have that aha moment and you finally realize, whoa, that was a faux flame. This is the shit. This is it. This is the karmic burden that I've had. I was in a karmic burdened relationship before with a false twin, and that is not them. This is my twin that has just appeared in front of me, and everything went like that aha moment. Dynamic. But I would venture to say you probably will have the same insecurities, the same addictions, the same bad habits, the same frills and chills. And all that's going to come out. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. It's going to be a lot of push and pull. You're going to get the sugary sweet with the salty tears, right? Because whenever you are going to the gym, even to work out, to change your body, it might feel good when you're doing it. Day 2, you're like, whoa, I can't walk. But that pain felt good because you knew you were doing something that was changing your life. So just as this might go through, understand these growing pains that you're experiencing when you do finally meet your twin flame and you start seeing these repetitive numbers and you start understanding that you've opened a spiritual gate, your angel guides are guiding you, you have the synchronization, everything seems to be on point, you have your twin flame telepathy, and your message is actually manifesting and you're moving forward. And then all of a sudden, boom, they run. Again, I say, do not look at the depressive state of the running. Don't judge them. Don't see it as a terrible event. See it as a point of reference. Begin to open your heart. Allow yourself to love them even though they're running, because this is where you grow. This is where the intensity of that relationship is going to double up, because this is when it goes back and is reflected back on you. Because you have to be very self-aware to get to that place. Now, be true to you. If something is damaging you, if something is holding you back, if a relationship is weighing you down, if it has a lot of the same codependency style of depression and all of these things, look out for yourself. Right? Don't let a title or a name tag or branding force you to stay in a place where it's bad for you. Like I said, soulmates are not settling for second best. You can have a beautiful experience with a soulmate. And you don't even have to believe in a twin flame. But a twin flame situation is not an excuse for codependency. It's not meant for you to sit around and wait to be recognized. It's not about whether you feel unworthy. It's not about trying to make you feel if you've done something wrong. It's not about only what they want. It's not about, I need my time and my space so that I can go and do my thing and I'll be back. No, it's not about that. It's about you. It's about finding that resolution. It's about whoever does the work will ultimately be the winner in the situation. Because those of us who don't do the work are not going to gain the knowledge of inner self. We're not going to be any closer to inner peace than we were when we first met. So, let inner peace be your quest. Any relationship is going to be tough. Any relationship is about health and love and honesty and happiness and work, right? Any relationship, whether it's brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, mothers, friends, it requires those things. Unconditional love is a place that's very hard to get to. Dogs do it, but what's their secret? Maybe it's the wagging tail. How can my dog have more unconditional love than I can? Dang it. The life of dogs. The relationship should never turn to a place where it's poison. It should always be about attuning yourself and vibrating on a higher level. And never let your own doubt and your own story begin to affect the other person. Let's say you are the runner and you feel a place inside of yourself where you're starting to feel detached. You're starting to feel oppressed or pressured, or that you need space. Just be honest. Just say it. I know in my situation, if I need space and I feel that approached a certain place in a relationship, I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let you know. Because that is about being true to myself. Because if I don't, I'm not actually being super truthful to myself. And then I'm not allowing myself to actually learn any lessons. So I could run all I want, but I'm going to just be running on a treadmill to nowhere. I'm not going to actually have an agenda or a place in mind or a destination. I'm not increasing my destiny. But it is imperative for both of you to be working together. And it's imperative for both of you to understand that even if you're not working together, you're still working together, because just the fact that you came together at some point in this creative state is huge. It means that you've got something that you've been working on in your life. There's a part of you that wants to do something that you haven't been really doing, I believe. And I believe that twin has come into your life because God, the universe, the creator, is calling. Pick up the phone. Answer. Because there's something that you're not doing that you are being called to do. And like I was saying, I'm getting a lot of comments about this. And this is a forum. This is a group effort. Bring them out. Anybody that sees a comment that I've answered or that is sitting there waiting for an answer, feel free to answer out of love. Let's establish something right now. I want this to be a community of co-creators coming together with a good mindset to create good and love. And let's do it. Let's help everybody out. We've got a nice crew. We've got a nice group of people. I tell you, I have been thoroughly impressed with everybody that is interacting here. And those of you that have contacted me personally. I am ecstatic. Truthfully ecstatic. And I can't wait until 2017 when we can get together and get some of these grassroots groups together. And we can start talking. We can start seeing each other face to face. We can give each other a big ass group hug and start resonating and vibrating at a frequency where we're calling out to the world, and we're becoming a lighthouse. Our light's burning brighter and brighter and brighter. And we're talking about love. We're talking about the message. We're talking about the momentum necessary to change the world. And that's the calling. So if two parties are committed in a healthy relationship and you dedicate this twinness, if you guys are twinning, and I like that's my terminology, twinning, because you're winning, because you two twins came together and you are synchronized. You are in sync vibrationally. If you're twinning, holy smokes, look out, baby. Look out, because the sky is the limit. God is backing you, and you guys are going to do some massive work to change things. And that's what I hope and pray. In my life, that's what I want. That's where I want to be. I want to be twinning, baby. It's not about Rolexes. It's not about big cars. It's not about fancy houses. Let me be twinning. Let me be twinkling like a little star here in the big, big darkness of space, saying, hi, I'm here for you. I'm giving you a little light, giving you a little sparkle, giving you a little goodness, giving you a little growth. That's my goal. I've been super, super impressed once again. Now, in the course of this philosophy, I want to talk about coming from the law of attraction. I just talked about it before. How do you increase the vibrancy of finding that person, of opening up the gateway to manifest some of the things you need to get where you need to be? Manifestation, the twin flame mentality. Well, number one, you need to start doing some really heartfelt mantras, right? I want you to see this. I want you to start reprogramming your heart and your soul to work together, to see together, to increase your confidence when dealing with people, to increase your power of naturally attracting those into your life which should be there and repelling those which should not be out. To start growing the excitement of love and trust, and start building friendships and start connecting with people. The universe is tied. It's tied if you don't move. It's tied if you don't see possibility. So here's what I'd like you to do. I want you to say a couple things. I see myself, and I see myself happy. I see myself fulfilled. I see myself building a foundation where I will be true to me. I call out that all the doors that should be closed, and all the doors that should be opened. And if there's no way out, I ask to manifest a window of opportunity. I seek love. I seek goodness. I seek light. I call these things into being through the creative essence that has made me in a divine likeness. Let that divinity pour out on me so that I can manifest through grace, so that I can touch others as I would be touched, so that I can give to others as I would be given to. Let me operate in love and grace, in harmony. Bring to me a perfect union, a perfect point of view, so that the soul that interacts with mine, that will be my life partner, will be a point of reference to change my life and theirs for the better, so that we might work together in a message of divine goodness to change the lives of those we encounter. Something like that. Just a manifestation to add to your daily prayer, your daily walk. And stop punishing yourself for being not so authentic. But realize, like E.E. Cummings said, it takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. How's that feel? Baby, you are not a victim anymore. Wake up. You are not a victim. You are a victor. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. We've all messed up. We've all made mistakes. Stop letting that ego tell you where to go. All right? You are worthy of love. What you look like does not matter in the scope of being divine. You are created beautiful. Be willing to make a change. Own your mistakes. Let your past be only a step on the right path. If you're not going the way you want, change it. Only you can. Only you have the power. Don't sit in self-sabotage. Allow yourself to make a move. See yourself moving forward. Create a daily practice, a daily moment of mind, body, and spirit coming together to nurture you. Reach out, say hi to people, have conversations with strangers safely. Be alive. Find things that you enjoy. Start disconnecting from the things that hurt you, that make you feel inadequate. Stop living a lie. Be mindfulness. We got our own karma. Dharma is your karma, what you do, your responsibility, first and foremost, to you, your family, your friends, your community, your country, the world. You've got responsibilities, baby. Handle that. Handle it. That's what I'm saying. The world will not change unless we change ourselves. And when we change ourselves, we change the world around us right away, and we demand love to be at the center of that. Mindfulness. Don't repress your feelings. Don't let them get festered up. Don't back up. Don't hang on to anxiety and guilt and anger and explode at the end of a 2-week monologue where your loved one is like, whoa, shit, what did I do? Allow some forgiveness and grace and love to come in there and realize that all of us are wrong at some time. We often create and manifest our own issues. Self-respect, demand it and give it. Like I always say, the respect you expect, you must give. Say amen on that for me. And my bold people, have courage. Go forward in courage, with faith in the unseen. You are writing the rules. Resonate with what you're writing. Empower yourself. You have inner strength. Say nay to temptation. Get behind me. Build your self-confidence. Get active. Get out into the world. See yourself changing. Do not allow shame and guilt to take from you what God has given. And have a boldness. Have a boldness. Operate in a boldness. Operate in a beauty. So what? Somebody rejects you. It doesn't matter. People reject me all the time. I'll say a joke and no one will laugh. I'll be in an elevator and I'll look around and say, how is everybody doing? And people look at me like, oh shit. When does the door open? But by the time we get down to the bottom, I'm talking to somebody. And we're making a difference. We're having some conversation. When somebody comes up to you and asks you, are you all right? If you don't feel okay, stop holding on to it and say, well, funny you asked. They may run, but it's because they're running from their own shit. It's not rejecting you. But do have a little bit of self respect. Don't go talking about laundry that's so dirty that you should keep that to yourself. I say that have good quality conversations, everything founded on love. Be giving. You got to give to live. And this is a generalized wrap-up and a summarization of everything we've been talking about the past 2 weeks so that we can move forward next week after I've experienced my silence and we can start to face some of these harder issues involving separation, running, sabotage, and all of the other twin flame phenomenon. And then we can go deep diving into what's the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame so we can start understanding what and why am I not loved. All of those cool little topics, those little nuances, we're going to do that. We're going to dive in. And I appreciate and love you beyond all. But please get involved. And peace, light, and love as Ed Sheeran and I say goodbye. And I will see you on the other side.